deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown. Let's go. I'm just telling you to fight for your dreams, but it's not what it seems. Man, it's hard to be seen when everybody wants to be king. Yeah, they all want to ring. Yeah, we all want to be free.
What is going on, Lions fans, and welcome to Lions Nation Unite Live. We talk all things Detroit Lions news and rumors, even in this lull period right now where you consider jumping into a wood chipper because not a lot is going on being a Lions fan or an NFL fan in general, but we're just a couple of weeks away from NFL training camp where that all changes, and we're going to have fun. But in today's show, we got my man Anthony from Roar to Lions UK. What's going on, man?
And doing all right, thanks, Mike. I'm just dying for this season to come around now, man. It is so quiet at the moment. I have seen 100 tweets of the eyes wide shut pass from Goff, and I'm just like, please, I need something real at this point.
Eyes wide shut pass. And we got Wolverine Lion Coach Mike Jones, special guest. What's going on, Coach?
Hey, what's up, man? How are y'all?
Hey, ready to live and talk Detroit Lions, breathe, all of that stuff. We got 9 Drinks, John Doe in the building, Weston Lion, Jamie Ward, J.K. Uzin, and my good friend Raw Podcast of there, who's always looking at NFL prospects coming from college. So if you like prospects and you want to know about players from college coming into the NFL, not just for Detroit Lions, but for anyone, go ahead and subscribe to Raw Podcast. We got Tina Marie Passeroe and Broder. Broder is a good one. How is this going on? Frog Crop in the building as well. Folks, so let's talk about that no-pass look. Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Ant-Man Roar of the Lions UK. What did you think about that? It is something to hype, or is it just nothing?
Hey, look, it's a cool bit of social media in it, but as we all know, these practice fields where there's no defense, there's no nothing, you're just throwing passes to guys. That's what I mean. It's cool, but that's all it is. It's nothing more. But it was quite a good pass, in fairness. I will give him that.
What did you think of the no-lag pass? Coach Mike Jones.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? I think, like Anthony said, it's just, it's just practice. But it's also something that Jared Goff might have in the bag of tricks that he might pull out during the season. So it's good to see that he's exploring new options.
Yeah, the only thing I really take away from this is the chemistry between Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown is really tight. That's exactly what you want to see is between your quarterback and your wide receiver. He had that with Josh Reynolds. He's got that with St. Brown. He's got that with Khalif Raymond. We're all just waiting on Jameson Williams. Can he get that connection there? And I think that will be good to go for sure regarding our football team. Again, happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day. It is one of those. I see the comments there. Detroit fan, man. No doubt about it. It definitely will live down in infamy. One of the greatest screw-ups of all time. That is good, though. We do like that. There was an article that came out that 3 veteran players may not make this football team for the 53-man roster. One of them was Craig Reynolds. Coach Mike Jones, what do you think about Craig Reynolds potentially not making this football team?
Man, you know what? It would be a tough cut, but man, I like Craig Reynolds because he seems like he's a workhorse. See, I'm doing it too. Like a workhorse type of running back. He seems like he has all the skills. He has good speed and he's strong, but you know what? There's a lot of talent in the backfield, man, and may the best man win. I'm a guy who doesn't hold favorites, man. Is may the best man win.
I concur with you 100%. Just let the best man win, best 53. It doesn't need to be a fan favorite. It just needs to be the favorite for the job. Anthony, what do you think about potentially Craig Reynolds, they believe, not making the football team? Anthony cannot hear you. Now I will.
Sorry.
There you go.
It could definitely happen because I think we live in a world where we've got a lot of competition at the running back position this year. Obviously, we've got our 2 front guys loaded up, but then after that, it's a free for all. It's who do you want at running back 3 afterwards? You look at the guys, Reynolds in there, Jahmyr's in there as well. You've got Mo Ibrahim, who I love, and who's different to Gibbs and to Monty, who gives you something a little bit different on this roster. And for me, it always has been sort of Mo, because Mo is that sort of tank back who will just go in and truck over people and do something like that. There's something that Gibbs and Monty don't really do. They can, but you don't sort of have like a power back in there as well. And I think he'd serve well in that role, whereas with Reynolds, you kind of feel like Gibbs will do what he can do, but just so much better, like working the slot a bit, a bit more athletic, will get to the outside a bit. So it all depends on what they want to take as running back 3 and 4 here. But there is a world where it might not happen. But I mean, that's a good thing for me because it just shows the amount of depth we have there. And, a few years removed from having a 50-year-old Adrian Peterson as our own running back option, this is a lovely world to live in where we have so much choice now.
Folks, just update. I talked to Herman Moore the other day. He will be coming back on here where we talk Detroit Lions. Also, we're going to be doing a lot of giveaways, in which is freaking epic. So if you like to get epic gear, signed helmets, and all that type of stuff, well, then you need to go ahead and subscribe to this channel, because we're going to be doing a lot of that starting in training camp. Real excited to get into it just in a couple weeks. Also, hit that like button for sure. Another player who they thought potentially not making this roster, and I thought was really interesting, was Christian Covington, the defensive lineman who we recently signed about a month and a half ago. Anthony, I think he does make the roster. What's your thoughts on this?
See, Covington's another interesting one because DT is where a lot of people would say we have maybe the most depth concerns at this moment in time. There's not really a bona fide starter there with Aleem. Currently, you've got kind of a lot of these fringe guys in there and rotational guys. So there is absolutely, again, sort of a world where he can make this roster. It's just, can he sort of stand out above all the other guys who are in there for his competition? One is Levi going to be sort of healthy enough towards the start of the season that, they want to keep a roster spot spare for him, or, they'll eventually bring him back, with Bugs, and all that. They're going to carry on doing, are they going to carry on performing as they do? Broderick Martin's in, but he's not going to be a lock straight away. So there's a land of opportunity there. If he performs well, he will get in the team. Like Kaminsky did last year. Performed very well in camp, got his roster spot there because we were short edge at the time. So a lot of guys were injured, out. So there is a possibility. I don't know if right now he is, but if he has a strong training camp, he will do.
Here in about 22 minutes, we're going to take your questions for Q&A where you run the show. So you do #NoLoadPass, and you'll get your question answered. We're here with Mike Jones. Coach Mike Jones, where can they find your epic Wolva gear, your Wolva Lions that I personally have? I actually wore it yesterday, so I don't have it on now. Where can they find that to get your cool shirts?
Yeah, you can go to www.wolverine.com. Check it out, man. I'm actually getting ready to open the whole store up by the start of the season, so you'll be able to get everything. But for now, you can get the all-white Wolverine tee that you see right here behind me. I got them plastered all over. But, yeah, man. And also, you can go to Wolverine Sports Talk on YouTube.
Absolutely good gear. Like I said, I got it. I actually wore it yesterday. So what do you think about Christian Covington potentially not making the 53-man roster? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I'm on the board with that. I'm kind of the fringe because it's between Covington, Benito Jones, and Levi Anzarike, I think, for that last defensive tackle spot. So is this whoever stands out more? Just going to have to whip they throwing them pads, man, and get the cracking.
For sure. The other player that they had in that list was tight end Shane Zylstra. I absolutely agree he's not making the 53-man roster just because you got James Mitchell, you got Sam Laporta, and and our guy Broad. So I think he's the one that's not going to make it. And I don't think there's going to be much of a debate on this one. I think that's kind of normal here. Gotta get some of that Wolva Lion swag. It's absolutely swagoo all the way for sure. Another article came out and talked about the top 4 secondaries in the NFC North, and it had, we're going to go through each team, and it had the Minnesota Vikings ranked 4th in the NFC North. Do you think that is a good ranking, as Bears were 3, Lions were 2, and Packers were 1? Ant-Man.
I think that's fair. They've struggled to draft, especially corners, for years. Think of all the first-round, high second-round corners the Vikings have taken, which have just straight out busted. They've had a lot of problems. They had to bring in Patrick Peterson last year to try and bring in some semblance of normality, and he's about 90, so with due respect to him. So I think that's fair. The Bears are very young at the position, but they've got a lot of talent in there. That maybe in a year or two might be the best secondary. Who knows? And then as for us, yeah, we're the same. We have really, we know we have really good youngsters here, and we've brought these vets in, but are the vets going to play well here? We don't know that. Our secondary could be amazing this year. It could be terrible. So I can understand why there's a bit of skepticism there. And with the Packers, you do have to say they have a very good secondary. You know, they draft pretty well. The safeties are really good. I mean, the starting ones are. I don't think the depth is great, but out of all the starters, they do probably have the most complete unit. I actually think that's a fair ranking, give and take with all of them. But I think us and the Bears are certainly, there will be ascending very quickly. We could both overtake the Packers this year quite quickly.
Coach, what do you think about that? What do you think about potential Lions just being number 2, not number 1? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Man, you know I'm a Lions fan, right? You know what? I think, man. Okay, the Packers can say they're number 1 for right now in the secondary, but look at the star power.
Yep.
Look at the experience that we have in that defensive backfield, and you're like, they have to perform. Like, there's no possible way that Cam Sutton, that C.J. Gardner-Johnson, that Emmanuel Mosley went healthy, which he should return week 1. Like, there's no possible way that all those guys are going to jump off the cliff. Like, there's no way they're going to take that dive. So I think the Lions deserve that type spot, but, you know, I'll hold reserve because, you know, people are thinking we got a little bit too much going on for us in the offseason. You know, they don't like to show us love, so.
And I'm with you right there. Not only do I think the Lions got the best secondary in the NFC North, I think they've got one of the best secondaries in football. They're very aggressive players that get a lot of turnovers. I think that's being overlooked. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley, Kirby Joseph are turnover machines, and that's just going to make your secondary stats even look more ruthless than what it is. And Emmanuel Mosley, I think for him, it's just, can he stay healthy for the Detroit Lions this year? If he can, that's a ridiculous amount. And then Cam Sutton, the guy that nobody really talks about because he's very quiet, but he is definitely a good 7-year veteran along that, that receiver position. We'll be going against one. Then you got Jerry Jacobs, who I think is a pretty damn good player as well. You put the corners and the safeties together, it's ridiculous from top to bottom, not just one specific position like corner or one specific position like safety. We're combining them. You got Brian Branch, that's your backup with Tracy Walker. My God, it's just filled with names. It's just absolutely ludicrous when you look at it. So if there's an injury, Tracy Walker, okay, Brian Branch comes in. If there's an injury to Kirby, okay, Brian Branch comes in. Is that a drop off that much? Not necessarily. It's a really good combination. Then you got your backups, who's going to make it with Chase Lucas, Will Harris, who I'm not a big fan of, and Afutu Melifonwu. It's damn good depth starting players for the Lions secondary. I think they're going to be really making quarterbacks have migraines this year. You thought Karen Rodgers getting sent over there to the Jets in his last pass was a Kirby Joseph. Just wait this year. Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, and Jordan Love, I think they may throw a little bit of turnovers more than they usually do when they're facing the Honolulu blue and silver, because that's what we got here is players that get those turnovers and that are aggressive. And I love the way that they're talking right now. You know, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, he's just making these guys talk a lot of trash. And I love it. I know a lot of people, oh, we got to be humble. We got to be. No, I'm tired of humble. Right, Mike Jones?
It's the D, baby.
Hell yeah.
Man.
It's the D, man. We got to be able to talk trash. It's okay to talk trash, Ant-Man.
Oh, hell yeah. We've taken this long enough now, so it is time to give it back. So hopefully the team, and we know the team will give it back on the field. So I believe in them. I do.
I do as well. And There's another player that we've talked about before, but I like to see that his growth is taking a huge jump, hopefully this year. It's third-year player Derek Barnes, talking about how can he actually get in the lineup and, get some playing time with Jack Campbell, more than even Malcolm Rodriguez, potentially Alex Anzalone. What do you think is going on with Derek Barnes, Mike Jones, to where he's like, you know what, I got to step my game up?
You know what? Actually, I did a video on this about a week ago. Mike O'Hara was on Woodward Sports, and he said that he thought that Derek Barnes leapfrogged Rodrigo, and he actually was taking first team reps. He stole some from Jack Campbell, so we should be on the lookout for Derek Barnes, man. It was probably a tough transition going from defensive end to off-ball linebacker. I know he did that his senior year at I think it was Missouri or somewhere like that. But yeah, he just, I think he's made the transition, and it'll be good, man, because we got size there at the linebacker position, and it'll be good, man. So hopefully he has taken that step.
It's one of the players I really liked who we got 2 years ago in the draft. And it's like he didn't develop, but now it's really starting to turn on. I think when you do draft Jack Campbell and you see Malcolm Rodriguez come in there and do a good job, maybe you're a little heightened aware, like, oh, crap, my career potentially could be coming over if I don't do something. Ant-Man, talk about Derek Barnes, and hopefully he can continue this jump in training camp. And if he does, what do you see the future for him this year?
I mean, like Coach says, he's undergone a transition from college. Now, the advantage Malcolm Rodriguez had when he came up is he always played at middle linebacker. He's always played that at college. He's been very successful doing it. They were just coming off the Big 12 win that year. They've done great. And so he's sort of been able to adapt to it. Barnes had one season, and he'd not played that much at Purdue in his last year. I think he only played like 6-7 games. So it's a very hard position to adapt to when you come up to the NFL, especially with him, who is still in transition. And you saw when he came up, because I loved it when we got him, but a lot of his tape was his edge tape, where he gets in the backfield, he gets the sacks, he gets the running backs, he does all that. You could still see there was a lot of development, especially when it comes to defending the run, all that. We saw it exposed kind of really badly in year one. But I think as he's gone along, they sort of sent him to the sidelines away a bit. He's been doing his training. He's been practicing. You can see the development in his game. And like you said, in year two, last year, a lot of players came in and made impacts right away, which has sort of raised the standards for everybody. Yeah. And I think now in year three, you're seeing he's like, right, I've spent 2 years now. I've been practicing. I've now got to go out there and I've got to compete because, like I say, it will be my job. So I fully expect him to get there. I say I'm not too worried because of, like I say, the transition period to this position, but I would like to see it come to fruition on the field this year. And with Rodrigo in there, with Anzalone in there, with Campbell, who's going to be coming in, eating at the heels, wanting a starting spot, I think this level of competition will raise them all, really. And I think we could be really surprised by how much production we get out of there, because it's just a set of guys who are constantly striving to be better, and they all offer something a little different, so you can use them in a multitude of different ways. They ain't going to get in each other's way. Barnes loves to blitz. Campbell loves to hit people. Rodrigo, we know, likes to wrestle all over the place, take on these big linemen. So I think we've got a very versatile group of linebackers here, and it's just developing them all. I think this year we might begin to see it all come together.
I'm here with a lot of individuals that actually study prospects and players from college going into the NFL. Same with the Raw Podcast here, Coach, as well as Ant-Man. And sometimes it takes players a couple years to develop into what they are. A lot of fans expect these guys to come in there and be all pro immediately, and it just doesn't work that way. And it takes 3 years. And this is something that we always talk about in the draft. Just be patient with these players. Give them 3 years. And guess what? This is year 3 for Derek Barnes. And it looks like he's really coming into it and taking that big leap. And that's really important, because not every rookie coming into the NFL is going to be a Ja'Marr Chase, is going to be an Ndamukong Suh. It just takes time for some players to develop in that way they need to be. DeAndre Levy wasn't DeAndre Levy his rookie year. It just takes some time. Folks, the odds maker for Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, is Bijan Robinson. But number 4 is Jahmyr Gibbs. The NFL's, the Todd McShays, all the Mel Kiper Juniors were saying, oh, no, you don't draft Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. Look, Jahmyr Gibbs right now is the 4th odds to get Offensive Rookie of the Year. What do you think about that, Coach? Do you think he actually can get it?
Yeah, he has a 6-game lead head start with Jameson Williams being gone. I think that will give him an opportunity to showcase his explosiveness in the passing game and in the running game. I believe he should be maybe 3. He could probably move up a spot as being Offensive Rookie of the Year. It just depends on how much Jameson Williams, when he comes back, will hurt him in his targets and what he does on the field. But yeah, man, Jahmyr Gibbs, he's explosive. There's not a doubt in my mind that he can do it. So
explosive like diarrhea, always a good thing as long as you're not the one changing the diaper. See, I got older kids. I no longer got to do that, but we do like explosive on the field. What do you think about Jahmyr Gibbs? The 4th player right now, odds maker to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. He is just behind Bryce Young, Bijan Robinson, and C.J. Stroud. Man.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's well within a chance of this. I mean, I did my hot take for the season the other day. I reckon he could be the 5th guy ever to go over 2,000 scrimmage yards as a running back in his rookie season. I think that is potentially where his ceiling is at, because he ain't just a running back. You can do so much with him. And like I said, JMO is out for 6 weeks. When JMO comes back after that 6 weeks, I think you're going to be in a position where they will want to feed him. I think they'll manufacture touches for him at some point. I think when you've got a weapon as dynamic as him, you find a way to get the ball in his hands. And I don't think he will shy away from that. So he could absolutely be rookie. And like I say, it's not just a running back. He is a receiver as well. So that will give him that added advantage as well against the guys who just, like the Breece Halls, who just run it. He will be just a dynamic, versatile weapon here. And like I say, I think after a few weeks, he will just get a ton of touches because they will want to get the ball to him, even when guys come back. So I think he might be high, and I think he's a really good chance. I think he's our best prospect to win it in a very, very, very long time.
Happy Independence Day, everybody, on this 4th of July. Hopefully you're having some fun with your family, enjoying some days off if you have that. If not, well, at least you get to listen to this. Again, we got Coach Mike Jones here, Wolverine. Make sure you go ahead and check him out and get the epic gear. Where can they find that gear again?
Wolverine.com. Get your all-white Wolverine shirts, and the rest will be on the way by the start of the season. You'll have a whole entourage of gear that you can get. So Wolverine.com. Check it out.
7 minutes. We're going to go to you guys for questions. Remember, do hashtag something. Hashtag Mike, hashtag Wolverine, hashtag Ant-Man, hashtag Bald Guy. Whatever it is to get our attention. I see it. We will answer it. If I miss it, it's because I'm old. Just copy, paste it, and we are good to go. We look at the offensive X factors for the 2023 NFL season. Ant-Man, what is a player that is an X factor in your opinion?
We've got so many options here, but I think you're going to go into the tight end room as one as well, because everyone bitches about our tight ends. We don't have household names at tight end, so everyone just assumes they're bad, but they're not. You know, as you saw last year with the group of guys there, they're very productive. They are very vital to the way that we work. And this year, you're adding Laporta into the mix. You're getting a healthy James Mitchell, who's going to have full rookie camp, full training camp, full, to get up to speed with everything. So I honestly think it will be one of those two, because they are both highly underrated. They come from awful offenses in college football and still were great receivers amidst, a lot of mediocreness. They will block hard for you. They play hard. And with all everyone focusing on Gibbs, JMO when he's back, Amon-Ra, I think there's going to be a situation where the tight ends are going to go under the radar and start feasting, and those two will be it. So whoever sort of wins the battle out of them and nails down tight end one, I think will be one of the really pivotal pieces for us this year.
Coach, who do you think would be an X factor for the Lions on offense this year? It could be a starter, could be a guy that maybe we don't talk about a lot.
David Montgomery.
Ooh, love it.
I think David Montgomery is gonna be he's gonna be that guy. He's gonna be the guy that's punching it in. He also, he also has versatility. He can hit the edge, and he can run up the middle, or he can get to the outside. But I think he will get a lot of touches right inside that 15-yard line, and I think he'll cash in. Unlike Jamal Williams was able to do from distance, he can cash it in from distance, and I think he will take advantage of those touches.
For me, I'm going to go with the player that you probably don't expect, but I fully think he's an X factor for the 2023 NFL season. That's Halapoulivaati Vaitai, the Lions' right guard. If this man can stay healthy through this year, this offensive line will have continuity. And I think that the run game, like David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, can really be explosive. And protecting Jared Goff for another second or so, that means he's going to distribute the football, and this offense is going to be even more effective than what we've seen. We have an offense that can sustain offensive drives. It releases some pressure from the defense. I think, to me, this is very pivotal for this season, is his ability to stay on the field. Really excited to see him in training camp. Is he going to be doing all the reps? Is he going to just do half the reps? What is going on there? I think the right guard position is really important because last year he didn't play at all. You're having Evan Brown or whoever else was coming in there to take away some of these reps. I want to see this offensive line for the first time fully together. I want to see it. We've yet to see it. I want to see this offensive line full on and smoking fools upon the line of scrimmage in the trenches. We move to the defense, Ant-Man. What is a player that you think is a major X factor for the Detroit Lions? Unmute your mic, man. You got to unmute your mic.
I keep muting it so I don't interrupt. It's got to be a Liam this year for me. We need a star in the interior of that defensive line to really, ease pressure for the edge players, and to be able to create some more disruption for the interior. And I think he's another. I've watched him very closely since he came here and from college, and I think the growth I've seen in his game has been great. Nose tackle is just a position which gets no appreciation whatsoever. You don't see a lot of what they do, but I think year 3, he's leaned down a bit. I think you're going to see a bit more pass rush out of him. You're going to see him finishing some of these pressures he gets, and I think he's going to do for us what Kenny Clark does for the Packers, which just sort of melts the inside of that offensive line, and then just everything buckles around it. And they say with so many depth rotation guys around him, you really need someone who's going to stand up and be that guy in the middle, and that D-line is going to be very critical for us this year. It'll just create so many chances for the secondary. It will, load up on sacks, all that. So Aleem is going to be the X factor, and I think he will be the X factor.
Coach, what do you think when you look at this roster? A lot of players on defense that could be major X factors all the way around. Who is one individual you would like to, show the fans here?
Y'all see, it's the Wolverine. It's Hutch. It got to be Hutch. If Hutch can make that leap, like Nick Bosa, T.J. Watt, if he can make that leap from year 1 to year 2, that'll be big. That'll be big to have a guy like that on the edge coming off, double-digit sacks, pressuring the quarterback's nightmare. He plays good in the run. If he can be that guy in year 2, man, that's scary right there. And that also is good for the brand.
Hey, I love that pick. Aiden Hutchinson, no doubt. He's got to be a staple upon. If he can be that Nick Bosa, it's on like Donkey Kong. Folks, if you got questions, we may have some answers. Do hashtag lines, hashtag LNU, hashtag bald guy, whatever it is to get our attention. If I miss it, copy, paste it. I'm not being a jerk. It's because I missed it. First question here from James Lyons 85. Hashtag Lions tried to ask this other day, does a division title and a playoff win with this year make Goff more of a legend than Stafford? To me, it does. It would absolutely make him more a legend. Why is that? Because he did something that hasn't been done. Won a playoff game, won the NFC North. I know there's a lot of Stafford fans out there. I am myself. I love what he did. I've seen him in the draft, got to meet him and all that stuff. With that said, if you could come and win a playoff game and do something we haven't done ever, I think you're a legend here. What do you think about this, Ant-Man?
Yeah, I do. I honestly think so. And, you know, we've been spoiled because we've had Stafford for so long. A lot of us not know many more quarterbacks here in Detroit, but I can't imagine there's going to have been as many who came here so universally hated. You know, by none of the fans really wanted him when he came here. The Rams didn't want him. They got rid of him. And I don't think any of us thought really there'd be a situation we'd get to where we'd be like, well, hang on, maybe we'll go give him a second contract. But he's gone through all that, the adversity of the first year, you know, the hostility all around him. He's had a lot of pressure on him. And he just answered so many questions last year. You know, we were all concerned about the ball security. Well, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL at ball security last year. We're worried about the deep passes. He started connecting with the deep passes. It's not quite all there yet, but it will do. And just every time you ask a question of him, he answers it. And you've sort of seen in his, well, nearly, you know, starting into his third year here now, how he's sort of morphed into the Detroit version of Goff. Ain't this sunny Florida, you know, Cali boy here anymore. He's a Detroit guy now, and you can see that. And I'm rooting incredibly hard for him. If he can win as a playoff game here, I just think the amount of adversity he's come alone will put him up there for me as, you know, I will really appreciate what he's done here.
What do you think about the debate, Stafford, Goff? If he comes in here and wins a game, do you think he's more of a legend?
Man, we should ask Matt Stafford that question. No, you know what? If he comes in, I'm telling you right now, if you come in and you win a playoff game, you come in, you host a playoff game, and you win the playoff game, you're gonna be you've done something here that nobody's done here, and I don't even know when. Before I started watching the Lions, and I started in the '90s. So yeah, man, he does it, and he'll be here. They'll be like, Matt, what's his name? Yeah,
I think he'll. You know, look. Everybody loves Stafford. He does have great windows. Somebody put that in the comment section. The guy has an elite arm. But unfortunately, he didn't win the big game, and it's not necessarily his fault. But if Goff comes in here, you gotta give him the hat. Brandon McCann, #OnePride. How many sacks do you guys see our defense getting on the year between Houston and Hutch, Aleem, and Pascal? Also, you see us blitzing safeties and corners more with a surplus of talent there. I do with the second one. Absolutely. You got talent with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Brian Branch, and Kirby Joseph. I think you're going to see some blitzes there. But what do you think about the sack total altogether with those guys, Ant-Man?
I think you'll see about 45, 46, give or take. I think that was sort of fifth, sixth in the league last year. I think you will get a lot because now you have this perfect marriage, which we've not had for years. Is we've got a secondary now, so those QBs are just going to have to hold on to the ball a little bit longer, trying to get it out, and then all the guys on the D line who've just not had that chance in recent years because the ball's been getting out so damn quick. They're going to start finishing these plays now. So I can see a world where about 45, maybe up towards 50 if you're doing really good.
What do you got with the Lions sack total?
You know, this makes me so happy to talk about becoming a D-line coach. You know what? Ooh, that's hard. I would say 40. Right? I'm gonna go under Anthony just a little bit. I'm gonna say 40. Yeah, man, I definitely gotta go with 40. It could be more. I think it will be more, but I'll just go with 40 just to be safe because I want to be one of those Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid. You know, people
drinkers.
like they're not gonna get
sipping it down like Jim Jones. That stuff come right back up with the diarrhea. #Lions. What do you think about rookie Coda out of Oregon? I love Chase Coda, 6'4", big receiver. The problem is I don't know if he's going to make the roster because we got a ton of receivers at depth. That's the problem. But I'd love for him and Antoine Green to go at it. I think they're going for that final number 6 spot. I think Green ultimately gets it. Maybe we get Coda on the practice squad, but I do like him and his size, his speed. He can bring on the outside. I like him quite a bit. And obviously, I'm an Oregon Duck fan, so go Oregon Ducks. Why is there a refrigerator light but not a freezer light? I don't know. That's my man, Dr. Detroit. Make sure you listen to what Dr. D says. I'll see him at training camp. He's a big influence. That's all I got to say there. #. So, Mike, what you're saying is all Goff has to do is do a no-look P. Yes, that is true. Now, he did that with his former head coach and resulted in him getting traded to the Detroit Lions. He's talking about laying down the laying down some bricks, if you know what I mean. Hashtag Goff would be a mayor of Detroit if he won a playoff game like Eric Kramer has a mayor of Pontiac when he beat Dallas in 92. Absolutely. It'd be a bronze statue of him, kind of like Rocky over there in Philadelphia. No hair, bear bunch. What does a successful season do for Hooker? What does it mean for a successful season for Hendon Hooker or for Jared Goff?
I imagine his future prospects if Goff wins us a playoff game.
Oh, if he wins us a playoff game, he's going to be our backup. Hendon Hooker is going to be our backup, and that's exactly what he should be this year. And if Jared Goff comes out and tears it up, then that's what he'll be until we have a problem like they're having over there for the 49ers, and which is a great problem to have, or what they had over there with Aaron Rodgers, but it would be a little bit different. But yeah, it'd be a great problem to have. What do you think about the Hendon Hooker situation, Coach?
You know what? I think Hendon Hooker is a good quarterback. I think he can be a great quarterback. So I think Hooker can just take his time and develop. He doesn't have to rush.
Yeah.
I hope Goff has a great season for the Lions' success as well, but that allows Hendon Hooker to develop and adjust to the game speed, because when you have that 1.4 seconds first read, 1.8 seconds second read, 2.4 seconds third read, to go through all of that while you got those mammoth human beings coming at you, that it changes. It changes a lot. So the speed of the game allows him to kind of get with it before he's forced to. So yeah, I'm with it, man. It's good for him.
Hashtag PAT, any word on the kicking room? Can Jack Fox kick the field goals? Hey, Jack Fox can throw passes. He can punt. He ain't going to be kicking field goals, though, but maybe he'll be a center, too. He could be a wide receiver as well as a safety. The guy can do it all because we love Jack Fox. Don't know what's going on in the competition. That will continue on probably all the way to the 53 cut. We won't know. We'll see who they start to use a little bit more in preseason for the extra points and the field goals. But this is a competition that's I think it's going to come down probably to the bitter end for sure. Hashtag D's nuts and got him.
Got him.
We definitely got to get the hot got him in there. Hashtag smash that like button. If you've not hit that like button, do it right meow. It does help out for Lions Nation Unite. We will be having Herman Moore back on. The season's about to begin. He'll get on there. We're going to do some giveaways. So if you like signed gear, epic stuff, former players coming on here, get Megatron on here. Oh, yeah. We're going to have a really good time as well. And how about Diamond Dallas Page from the WCW and WWE? Get on here, talk some football as well as some yoga. Hashtag Mike. Yeah, since Adam left Woodward, you think you can get him on the show? I want to see you guys go off on Lions Talk. Talk to him yesterday. It will happen. We just got to be patient, folks. Just got to be patient. But Adam will be on for sure. But he can't do anything right now. That's all I can say. Mike, the Lions are feeling themselves. They're making it hard to be cool like that. Weird territory for them. People are actually interested. Dr. D, I know. And as you are somebody that's in the know, we'll just say that. You can't talk about it too much on here. Somebody that's legitimately in the know. You're making money at Ford. And I'm sure that's making a lot of people that run the organization very happy. But Lions look like they're becoming America's team, not the Cowboys, not any other team, but legitimately a lot of fan bases from out the NFL are really liking the Lions because of Dan Campbell and the players and how we're operating. So it's really good to see. Hashtag Frog Crop. Honestly, 13 wins, fellas. I could see this. What y'all think? We'll do win total. Coach, I'm going to start with you because I don't know how many wins you have. What do you have for the Lions getting a win total?
I got 12. I got 12 and 5. 12 and 5. I don't really have a far deep, a far dip in the over/under. Like, I think it's 10-win minimum, 13-win maximum, but 12 is what I got. I see them going 12 and 5.
12 and 5. You can put in the comment section as well. What do you guys think the Lions win-loss total will be? Ant-Man, what do you got?
I think I said about 12, didn't I? 11, 12. 13 might be possible, but I think you got to win 4 of them first 5 games, which are really bloody difficult. So, but I think about 12.
Detroit fan man, hashtag no look pass. Which positional group, if any, would currently finish last in the NFC North? Vikings fan video claims Detroit is 4th at defensive tackle and tight end. Reactions. Defensive tackle, possibly. I'd probably put him at 3. Maybe Chicago would be at 4, but I don't think it's the deepest position at there. Tight end, I think it's the absolute opposite. I think the Lions are great at tight end. They're up there with any team right now in the NFC North. I'd probably have the Vikings a little bit ahead just because TJ Hawkinson is a veteran. But in all honesty, I'm not worried about the position. What do you have for defensive tackle out of the NFC North, Ant-Man, and tight end?
Well, Liam McNeil's better than everything the Bears have at defensive tackle combined. I'm not having that. The Bears' D-line is trash. All across the line. They are the worst at every single position along the defensive line in this division without fail. So, not a chance. Tight end, as I'll go back to earlier, that is all about name recognition. People know about Cole Kmet. People know about, Tonya. No, Tonya's not there anymore, is he? But people know about the They don't know us because they're not household names. They're UDFAs and late round picks. But I don't mean they're not good. Our tight end room is perfectly good. I think the only thing that might be last in ours is kicker. And, I don't really mind about that. But DT, absolutely not. People are dreaming if they think the Bears DTs are better than ours.
What do you got, Coach Mike Jones, for tight ends and defensive tackle ranking?
I think defensive tackle ranking is probably in the middle of the board if we're talking about the NFC North. I think we might be first, second, just because we have more depth. Maybe not better player per se at the top, but we have more depth, I think, than any other team. Like Anthony said, it's our tight ends because relatively, all of them. James Mitchell, he was unseen really for most of last year. Laporta coming in, you know how rookie tight ends hit that wall. So I would have to say tight end as well because you really don't know what you're going to get out of that group because basically we got 2 rookies out there. So, tight end.
Artist formerly known as PC Payload, hashtag, how do you feel about the flip in the media and the massive amount of hype? I feel like it's a double-edged sword. I enjoy it. Well, first off, as somebody that does a little bit alternate media here on Chat Sports and Lions Nation Unite, it's like, well, now people are starting to come around, and that's something that I combat against. But as a fan, it's good not to be crapped on every single day. Everywhere you go, it's the same old same show. Lions suck this, Lions suck that. So it's good to wear your shirt and not get made fun of, me personally as a fan. What about you, Ant-Man?
I like the switch in opinion because it shows you're doing something right. Because as we know, the national media hate the Lions. They look for any excuse, be it however small, to trash the Lions and this organization. So the fact that they've actually looked at it and they're like, you know what, something special is going on there, I think is a testament to what this team has done in 2 years. 2 years ago, we were one of the worst teams in the NFL without a shadow of a doubt. Now we are probably the brightest, youngest ascending team in the entire NFL. We've switched it round so quickly. But the thing that I like the most, this team ain't going to give one hoot about this. They're not going to let it big them up. They're not going to let it get them too big for their boots. And I can see this because they're not that sort of team. At the start of last year, people were like, oh, maybe these could be quite good. We've got all these good draft picks. But they stayed humble. They fight hard. They work hard. They overcome adversity through their work ethic. They just don't let it get to the head. Everyone thought, is Amon-Ra going to get too big for his boots? No, he's just going to carry on getting better and better. Sewell's just going to carry on getting better and better. I don't think they'll care. And to be honest, I don't think it'll bother them one bit. I'm just glad that they are getting recognition because we were a damn good team last year, especially for the second half. So bring it on. I just think they're gonna prove everyone right. Having watched this team for so many years now, I have never been more confident in a group of guys. There are no egos, overpaid players in there. Just guys who are going to grind, work hard, and kick the ass of the opposition. So, bring it on.
Yeah, no doubt about it right there. And it is good to feel good. Come on, negativity does bring negativity and absolutely is butt cheeks when that stuff happens there. And it is what it is. Brandon McCain, hashtag All-Pro. Is it possible for the Sun God to make it to the first team? Going to be very difficult just because there's a ton of names out there. Obviously, you go players such as Justin Jefferson, who's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Media loves him. You got players galore, Tyreek Hill, all over, Chase. There's a lot of players that make the all-team first team all-pro. It's going to be difficult, possible though. And also what makes it more hard is Jared Goff is not a guy who just throws the football to the one guy. He throws it to multiple weapons. Thus, you're going to have less yards for Amon-Ra St. Brown. So that it's like a double-edged sword there. Speaks, #muffles. If the Lions don't make the playoffs this year, do they reach out to Baltimore Ravens legend Trent Dilfer? They may reach out to him. I heard he got released from ESPN, right? And there's a lot of releases over there.
He's a college coach now.
Oh, he's a college coach. Okay. So
Yeah.
he's over there. I know he was over there. The ESPN released like 500 people the other day. So, yeah, they'll reach out to him to be the place kicker. Draft the cocaine, #no competition agreement. Talking about the Woodward there. #Lions. Should the Lions sign Calvin Johnson to be a wide receivers coach or front office Stafford drafting wide receiver? I don't think so. Calvin Johnson is not in my opinion, the coach type of player. He is the more relaxed guy. He's got his own business going on. He's not the most vocal person in the world. He likes to keep himself and his family. I don't think he's really the coach type in my opinion. That's just my opinion, Coach. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Calvin's a great guy. I think we all love Calvin, man, and we love what he's doing, and we love him around the team. We love the energy he brings, but I just don't know if he's the coach kind of guy. He might be kind of like Michael Jordan, man. Like, if you can't do some of the things that I was doing, then, I might get a little agitated. So, so I really don't see Calvin as being a coach, more like a kind of a mentor.
Yeah. He's just kind of like Herman Moore. Herman Moore, real laid back guy, real nice. Not the coach type, more the mentor type. And that's the type of personality he has. I think you have to have a different type of personality to be more of a coach, not necessarily just because you're a great former player. Exactly. As somebody it's a different persona to them. #frog crop. Would you change your mind if they come out and handle the Chiefs as far as win total? No, I have the Lions beating the Chiefs anyways. That's what I have there. I don't know I know Mike Jones have them beating the Chiefs. What do you got, Amon? Do you got them beating the Chiefs?
No, I have them narrowly. I know. I'm sorry, Coach. I know. The call is I only have them losing by a couple of points, in fairness, because I know they don't start well, but neither do we traditionally. And we have a lot of, secondary's got to get used to. I just think we're going to be a little tiny bit rusty. I think we're going to give them a good game. I think it's going to be a 3-point difference. I said I'd take the over on about 70 points because it'll be a high scorer, but if they beat the Chiefs, my win total for them will go. I said I would do 13 wins if we won like 4 of those first 5, because we had 2 teams who smacked us last year. The Chiefs, you got the Packers again. We could win 13, 14 games if you win that. So my predictions could change if we beat them.
Lions 1960, #DeBears 13-4. When we beat the Chiefs, what's the reason? Offense, defense, or both? It would be both. And I'm going to put on here, it's also going to be Jahmyr Gibbs and how they use him on offense. I think he is going to be the weapon on offense on week 1. He's going to be all over the offense. He's going to be as a wide receiver. He's going to be in the slot. He's going to be a running back. I think that's going to be a player, one of the reasons why we win on week 1. #Goff has an MVP type of season, and Ben Johnson gets all the credit. And if Goff has a subpar season, it's all his fault. That's how some people react. I think it's more in the middle. That's the way that I see it. It's not all one player. It's not all one person. The quarterback gets all the love. The quarterback gets all the hate. The offensive coordinator gets all the love. The offensive coordinator gets all the hate. How about it's 11 players? You got to come together as a cohesive unit. We got a coach here who totally understands that. What do you think about, Goff if he does well? Ben Johnson gets it. If he does bad, he gets it. All of that.
Yeah, it's like you said, man. Quarterbacks get it all, good and the bad. But rightfully so, because if Goff goes down, the season is a wash. So he should get all the glory if we have a good season. But we don't have a good season, I don't think you can point just at Jared Goff. It has to be a lot of the pieces that we have around him because a lot of the pieces are brand new. We don't know how this chemistry is going to play out. I mean, we foresee it being, he can do this, he can do this, and put this together and it can go like this. But at the end of the day, we have new receivers. We have 2 brand new running backs. We have a new leader in the tight end room. We have a question mark at the right guard. Hopefully it's solved. So I don't know. It could all kind of go bad, but I'm hoping it's not.
Weston Lyon, if we lose 5 to 7 games, who is going to beat us? Well, it could be a team again like the Seattle Seahawks. That could beat us for sure. There could be games that last year we didn't expect the Carolina Panthers to beat us. We expect to beat them. Sometimes good teams just have bad games, and bad teams have good games. Maybe we get beat by the Chicago Bears, or we get beat by the Minnesota Vikings. It's very possible out there. Got a Monday night game against a team who I think we would beat. Maybe the Raiders come out of nowhere and beat us when we got our different logo on. But it's just one of those things you don't really know until it happens. Just because you're better on paper doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win that game, and vice versa. What do you got that one with Anthony Rordelines UK?
There's one team I'm really concerned about when it comes to us losing games this year. That's the Zebras. We could go 0-17 if that Zebras team is really good this year, and we know they like to screw us. So I think you losing 5 to 7, you're going to lose some NFC North games. You just are. You don't sweep the division very often. We went 5-1 last year. I don't know if we repeat that again this year. I think you go split with a couple of teams, and then Christ, we're going to the Ravens away, the Chargers away, the Chiefs away. You're going to go to the Packers. You're going to go to the Saints away. Our road schedule is pretty rough. So I think out of those 7, if you lose 5 to 7 games, I reckon 80% of them come on the road just because of how tough your schedule is. I think you do really well at home. If we sweep at home, then you can afford a few slip-ups away.
We got a $10 super chat from Frog the Goat Crop. Appreciate you dropping that super chat. I'm going to let Herm know that you dropped that $10 like I always do, and he definitely appreciates that. We got Coach Mike Jones on here. Tell the folks where they can get Wolverine gear, and which I personally have. I have it. Love the shirt. Where can they find it?
Wolverine.com. Check it out, man. And also you can go to Wolverine Sports Talk on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel. I'm putting up stuff daily. So, I'm trying to enter the game, man. Shout out to my Detroit Lions on the Proud family, because that's where I come from. That's where I got my start. So shout out to Kurt Steele, LL Cool Torrance, and Valerie Bordeaux.
Absolutely. Kurt Steele. Now he is a beat writer for the Detroit Lions. Freaking love it. Known this guy for a long time. Mr. 313, hashtag Lions. People forget Lions almost beat the Kansas City at home with less talented team. Bad defense. Have faith, people. And the coach was Matt Patricia. That's all you got to know about that one. When Matt Patricia can almost beat you, well, then anybody has a chance, because he is not a master beater. That is for sure. Torque the Dork. If the Lions go 17-0 and make it to the Super Bowl, I will buy Mike and Ant-Man parking lot tickets so they can hear the crowd where the Super Bowl is being played at. Torque for sure, but I have a good feeling that if you do that, I think you'll be coming along. Herm will be buying a suite or something if the Lions make the Super Bowl so we can all hear it. Something that would take place, but absolutely would be fun. Hashtag Karen Rodgers over to Wisconsin. Well, he's definitely gone. He's definitely not part of the Packers anymore, and I can't wait to see what they look like with Jordan Love. Phil Phelps, hashtag FGB. We always say that when our defense forces a turnover or a punt, our offense gets another offensive series. On the average, how many additional offensive series do you think will happen per game compared to last season? I don't know exactly how many we had last year, so I'd have to know that stat first. But you are 100% correct. You give more opportunity to the Lions offense, and Jared Goff in this offense is going to put up points, and that's a damn good thing for the Lions to win. And obviously, the best stat in any game is turnovers. Turnovers wins games. You win the turnover battle, you win it. Do you think that we're going to get more turnovers this year, Coach, to give this offense a chance to score those touchdowns.
Yeah, we got too many ball hawks in that backfield, that defensive backfield. We got Kirby Joseph. We got Cam Sutton. We got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Man, it's just way too many people in that defensive backfield that are waiting on that ball. We got way too many ball hawks. We should be Detroit Ball Hawks. Ain't that logo.
Ant-Man, thoughts on that? You think we're going to get more turnovers this year compared to last? Give Jared Goff and this offense an opportunity to smoke some fools.
Yeah, I do. And the big thing, it'll improve your average starting field position. If you can get more of these picks and that, I wouldn't be able to tell off the top of my head, but it never feels like we get many favorable fields, like when we're setting up already in their half, really putting them under pressure, something like that. So, yeah, like I say, it comes with the territory. You just give your offense more chances. And this year, we've just got such a dynamic offense that the more chances you give it, the more points it's going to score. So the defense has to do its bit. We can't do like we did with Seattle last year. We can't just keep trading points and doing it that way. We've got to dry the points up somewhere and keep putting them on ourselves. It's what we've traditionally struggled to do. We saw it last year a few times, like with the Giants and the Jags. We got on top of them and we killed them. I want to see more of that this year, especially at the start when the games mean something. So hopefully the turnovers will allow for that. They'll give us better starting field position.
Huggy Bear hashtag, fellas, the Lions won 9 games with the worst defense of last season. So if Goff wasn't the biggest reason why they won, who was? Well, let's just put it this way. It was the whole offense. The offensive line was one of the best offensive lines all in football. That's one of the reasons why this offense was really good. You did have good weapons in Amon-Ra St. Brown, a really damn good player. Khalif Raymond, it's all together. It's not just one thing, in my opinion. I think Jared Goff is the best quarterback in the NFC North, ahead of Kirk Cousins. I'm not a Goff hater. I'm not a Goff lover, but at the same time, I can't just put it on one player and say this is the reason why they were the best. To me, it was a mixture of kind of everything. And when you have good pieces all around with coaching as well as players, the net result is having one of the best offenses in football. That's my personal opinion, how I see that. How bad will the media kill Karen Rodgers if the Jets have a losing season? They will crucify Karen Rodgers, especially in the New York media, and I think we all want to see that. They will cut his head off. Exactly. Karen will get unhappy, and he will cry like he always does and whines. Then he'll go into his black retreat where he'll be in a closed room where there's no light, and you could call it a day over there. I still think I got the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins kind of ahead of them a little bit. I think those are two good squads. But that's my thought. Folks, we've been on for about an hour, so we're about to close this bad boy out. Ant-Man, what do you got to say before we end this show?
A great deal, really. Just enjoy your 4th of July. Obviously, we don't celebrate that here, but have fun, have a good day, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys over there for giving us this holiday a couple hundred years ago. We got our independence from England. Wolverine coach Mike Jones, tell the folks about your website, your gear, where they can find you.
Yeah, man. So Wolverine Sports Talk on YouTube. So subscribe to the channel. I don't know why you haven't already, man. You should already done did that. And also you can find me at Wolverine.com. Get you one of these all-white Wolverine shirts. And actually I have a poll up. So if you actually vote, you can actually vote on the new Wolverine product that you would like to see released by the start of football season. So go do that, man. But, hey, thank you for spending your 4th of July with us. Thank you, Mike and Anthony, for having me on. I have fun, and I hope to do it again sometime.
With that said, folks, have a great, happy 4th. Adios.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the hours it takes to get some power. Don't be f***ing sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And f*** all the doubters, they're just downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm f***ed off at these f***ing clowns who were all taught they deserve it now. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.